Life's a dance you learn as you go. Sometimes you lead, sometimes you follow. Don't worry about what you don't know. Life's a dance you learn as you go. Life's a dance you learn as you go. Sometimes you lead, sometimes you follow. Don't worry about what you don't know. Life's a dance you learn as you go. Life's a dance. Life's a dance. Life's a dance. Sometimes you lead, life's a dance. Sometimes you follow, life's a dance.
Good morning. My name is Kim. I'm the office manager here. Yay! So now we would normally have somebody more qualified than me to speak. But that's not going to happen. So we're here to honor Reverend Rose. Wherever she is, I'm not sure. She's kind of short. She's out here somewhere.
Stand up.
Short jokes, a lot of short jokes. So I met Reverend Rose about 7 years ago, and I was looking for a job. And I walked in, and we had a nice interview, and she called me back and said I was third on her list. That didn't work for me. So the first one backed out. The second one became our youth director, and by default, I got the job. And I asked her, thank you. So I asked her why she picked me out of 70 candidates, and she's your personality. And I said, this woman is smart. I want to work with her. So anyway, at this point, I would just like to say thank you for 10 years. It's been 7 of the best years of my life. And I would like you to invite you up on stage to sit through this and have other people honor you. So I present Reverend Rose, my minister, our friend, my boss. We'll go ahead and start with the... Okay, we're going to go ahead and start with a trivia question today. So David, take it away.
All right. Okay.
That's
Oh, just to let you know, today's prize for the winner of the trivia is sponsored courtesy of Aldi's because of Belinda. You win a lifetime of free carts at Aldi's. Or you get the cash equivalent. Today's first question is, how many extra cushions does Reverend Rose sit on during the Tuesday morning class? Is it 1, 2, 3, or none? She just stands because she can't see above the table.
all right. We really aren't going to answer any of these. They're just fun. So our first speaker, and to lead us off, Reverend Therese Lee. Come on up.
So I got to be at Unity Village last week, and lots of things going on. I know you were also at a little conference, and I thought it would be appropriate if we read James Dillard Freeman, who was also a Unity minister and alive in our lifetime. And I'm going to read to you all and dedicate this to you, Reverend Rose. What is a minister? What does it mean to be a minister? It means to make yourself small so that others may feel large. And I'm going to cry, so just know this, okay? It means to make yourself a servant so that others may feel their mastery. It means to give so that those who lack may receive. Everybody breathe, because I know we've all experienced this, yes? It means to love so that those who feel unloved may have someone who never rejects them, someone with whom they can always identify themselves with. It means to hold out. It means to hold out your help to those who ask and deserve help, and also for those who don't ask or for those who don't deserve. It means always to be there when you are needed, yet never to press yourself on another when you are not wanted. It means to be a minister, to stay at peace, so that those who are contentious will have someone to whom they can turn to stabilize themselves. I know you've been that for me. It means to keep a cheerful outlook so that those who are easily cast down may have someone to lift them up. It means to keep the faith and to keep on keeping the faith, even when your faith can't be found and there's little reason for believing, so that those who have no faith can find the courage by seeing you to continue living. It means not merely to live a life of prayer, but to turn your prayers into life. More life for you, more life for those to whom you minister. It means to be God-centered and human-hearted. What we also say is to live in your divinity, to involve yourself in humanity and to keep your vision on your divinity. And so you draw forth in and all around you the human form divine. It means to share in the great moments of life and laughter, in birth and in sickness, and in death. And to all those times, whether of crisis or of celebration, to bring comfort with a blessing, and above all, a sense of presence with a capital P that sometimes we cannot get for ourselves. It means that you are the presence when we forget who we are. That is what it means to be a minister of God and a minister to all, man, woman, and child. James Dillett Freeman. So you know, you've all been there, yes? You've received some portion of that from Reverend Rose. And I met Reverend Rose when she was doing CEP in the field down in Melbourne. And it was so organized. It was 2001, and it was February. Every smart girl knows that you're going to go to February from Chicago. Go to Florida in February from Chicago, right? There, let me get it out right. And so it was there that I met Reverend Rose. You helped me figure out what path I was on, if there wasn't even a path. And the congregation that you served at Melbourne as the licensed teacher, so many people have sent well wishes. Life-altering one this morning was from Marshall Mahoney, and she's like, holy shift, 10 years, and so she's so excited. And then, of course, you came here, and most of you know that Rose gave me a place to live when I didn't have one. And so therein lies the truth of putting yourself aside, sharing your space, what little we had, and your garage, and your porch, and your refrigerator, and all of those things. So I am grateful. You know that forever and ever. Amen.
Thank you, Reverend Therese. Shall we do another trivia question? Sure. Okay.
How tall is Reverend Rose? 4'10", 4'11", 5 foot, 5'1".
So how tall are you?
Taller than a carrot. Yes. Good. That is not a good question.
I don't think her height should be measured by a ruler. She stands tall.
Well, a king, a ruler, it's all.
Okay, I think that we will have Chris Boyle come up at this moment. And then it will be a volunteer, so get ready.
I have something for you. My favorite leopard. Can I stand behind the mic? I wanted to just give a little talk about having Reverend Rose arrived with us. I think I was on the committee. It was Dixie and Robert Buck and a bunch of people. And Dixie knew Reverend Rose from Melbourne. So she came up and gave a bunch of talks, and we decided we wanted Reverend Rose. But it had to go before the board, and then it had to go before the whole membership. So everybody voted we wanted Reverend Rose, and she became our minister. Well, the first thing she told us was she had to have a hip replacement. And we said, no problem. We had 2 licensed Unity ministers in training. We had guest speakers. So we got through, and she bounced back first with a walker, then a cane, and she came right back to the church. So later on, she says, I have to have the other hip replaced. And she did. We went through the same thing, and she bounced back, and here she was, our minister. And in her early years, her vacation was spent going to see her mother. And it seemed like it was a bonding time for her. She would always come back and tell us such interesting stories, things she and her mother did, and she really seemed to enjoy it, even though it was her vacation. So, and I just want to tell some of the things that we have done since she's been here, and she's been with us through all of these. We've had garage sales every year. We had 2 car shows. We walked to raise money for the Sharon Center. We've been in the Merritt Island Christmas Parade 3 times. I think 2 times we got trophies, right? We attended the opening of the Women's Homeless Veterans Center. We've had dinners. We've had plays. We've had vacation Bible schools for the community for kids. We had board training. I was on the board, and we had to have board training every year. 3 years. I guess we didn't get it right the first time, but something, you know. We've had classes. She had a pet blessing at one of our garage sales. We had women breakfasts. We had the Christmas lunch at Olive Gardens. And I got her gift that she brought, and she took it back. Because you could exchange the gifts, and then you could take one back. So she took the one that she had brought back from me. But anyway, I got another gift that was okay. And last but not least, we went to see the movie Magic Mike. And Reverend Rose was right with us.
Hey.
Well, that was organized by Karen Tantillo. But one of my most memorable things, and one of the things I appreciate the most, is every year on my birthday, she sends me the most beautiful handwritten card telling me what I mean to the church and everything, which I really appreciate. Thank you, Reverend Rose, for 10 years, and we love you. And you can open your gift if you want to open your gift. Yes.
Is it Magic Mike?
No. Turn it the right way. Yes, I did that. And there's something else in there, too.
Oh, in here.
Yeah. Do you know how hard it is to find frogs? I had to color one.
You did a good job.
Great job.
That's a keychain.
It's a frog
Keychain.
Magic Mike.
I didn't.
I know.
Okay, we'll go just right into our next speaker, Mr. Ron Caswell, another lifetime member here at Unity. Woohoo!
Thank you, Kim. Thank you, Reverend Rose. Wow, y'all look good from up here. Mr. Dan. This is November 7th, 2007, and my wife Judy and I were already in love with Reverend Rose back at that time. Let's go one more. Next. 2008, Reverend Rose, Christmas time. Let's go again. This is Reverend Rose's family in 2009. And look at this one right here. Her birthday's today. Oh, happy birthday. And her mother. That was a special moment. And look at Kirk back there. Can we go again, please? And then she married my wife and I. And that's when I was younger and had less hair. Can we go again? It was the 20th anniversary of this church, right here on the stage. There's Renee. We got you both. Can we go again, please? And then our board here recently, my wife was on the board. There's Dan and Beth. And there's been some wonderful times in this church. Thank you for your leadership. Thank you for your love.
Okay, let's just go right into another trivia question.
Ooh, trivia. How many hours does Reverend Rose take to write a talk? 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 30, 30 plus, or she just has somebody else do it?
Wait, is there a service for that?
And the answer is more like 20 to 30. Okay, any other Lifetime members here that would like to come up? Karen, you ready? Want to? You're going to cry, we know. It's okay.
So that's what the ladies' breakfast is about.
Well, as you all know, that I've been around here for a long, long, long time. And on the card that we all signed, I also said that she has been such an inspiration to both Don and myself. And I just can't thank her enough for her wisdom, her counseling. When Don was getting ready to pass, I just called her, and I didn't tell her. I don't know that I told her that. I just said that I was trying to get hospice, and she was right there. And she even brought me home, and I just can't. I just don't know what to say, because she has been, just as I said, such an inspiration to me and to Don and to our family, and she's always there when I need her. Thank you so much.
Okay, does anybody else want to come up? Phyllis, Ray, Phyllis. Dixie, I'm sorry, you're sitting right there, bless your heart.
Well, I have known Reverend Rose as long as Reverend Treese was talking about, way back in the day when I was taking classes to be an LUT. And I met her on the phone. I was in the Titusville church, and there some people from way back then, and I read in their bulletin about their chaplain program, and that called to my heart. So I called her, and I said, "Can I be one of your chaplains?" Well, I didn't belong to the Melbourne church, but she got permission to allow me to train with the Melbourne group, and there are at least 3 of them sitting back there that were in that group. So we went from that. She was the chaplain coordinator at the time and an LUT in the Melbourne church. And so my duty was once a month to come to the Melbourne church to do the prayer work after service. And I did. Then I became chaplain coordinator here. And we had our own chaplain program. I've had such a long history with Reverend Rose. And it has been my blessing. She is love. That's all you need to say. She is love.
Sorry.
Very convenient.
All I can say is ditto to Chris's speech because she took everything I was going to say. Thank you, Chris. You made mine really short. But long ago, when you were in Melbourne Unity, I remember when you went off to be a chaplain. And we had gone through a period of having 5 ministers, and we're having a 18-month period of no minister, but sort of getting enthused about having one. And we had speakers in, and Reverend Rose was one of our speakers. We loved her so much we kept having her back and forgetting to have other people. So eventually we asked her to be our minister full time, and obviously she said yes. Thank you. So today we're really celebrating 2 things. We're celebrating Reverend Rose's 10 years, and we're actually celebrating the fact that we finally know how to pick a good minister.
Thank you, Phyllis. Let's go ahead and, are you guys going to speak? Okay, then we'll just stay right here.
Good morning. My name's Nancy. This is Steve. And we know Reverend Rose also from Melbourne, where she was a teacher of many classes, heart to heart. She didn't let us get off with being superficial. She made sure that we were deep. In fact, I sat on this side of the class and he sat on the other. And everybody said, ooh, y'all got a good vibe. So we got married. So Reverend Rose has seen us through our times of being single, my time of being broken, my time of being put back together, becoming happily married. And I remember when you broke your hip. Being a nurse at the hospital, of course I would. Got her first cane. So we've been through the ups and downs together in my life and in her own, and we're here to celebrate Reverend Rose. I was going to. Yep.
I was a member of Unity of Melbourne back in the 90s, and early 2000s was when I met Rose. She had such a sweet, loving presence about her. It really drew me to Unity. You guys know the feeling when you walk into a Unity church that love just sort of oozes out of the walls, and got stronger when Rose walked into the room. And I'll always be grateful for the classes that we shared together, the light that she shined, and the feeling that she brought. And we love you, and we see you. Namaste.
I just have to say something, because my first memory of Steve was when I was doing a yoga class. There were about 40 people in the yoga class, and in comes this nice looking, slim
man into Unity Church with all these other women doing yoga. That's true, yes. And Nancy got him.
Okay, Kathy, come on up. I see you're standing.
I'll be good. We go way back. I moved here in the end of 1996, and I attended the Melbourne church, and Rose was there. And I was going through a very, very difficult time, and Rose was there. And I took some classes at the church, and Rose was there. And she was a very, very important part of my life, and I would not have survived that part of my life if it wasn't for Rose. And I also want to say something about frogs. Obviously, you love frogs.
It's the theme of the church, fully rely on God.
Okay, there's a little more to a frog, just in case you wanted to know. We had friends that built a house in the Villages. They live in New Jersey. They moved. The first year in the winter, they came to their house, and their neighbors came over and asked them if they were snowbirds or if they were frogs. And they said, well, we're snowbirds, but what's a frog? You're here till you croak. And I love you, Rose.
Okay, I'm not letting her go before I share one about her and me. We were in Union, Melbourne, and I think it was Stuffed Animal Month, and they were beginning the opening song. And Kathy and I each grabbed this giant teddy bear, and we went down the aisle singing and waving the teddy bear. And the president of the board at that time, Tom Lee, said that was not an appropriate thing to do.
Funny. We'll go to the trivia.
Ooh, trivia. What does Reverend Rose do on her downtime? Garden, walk the beach, annoy the cat, all of the above.
Oh, God, that's funny. Thanks, David. Okay, we have a little bit more time for anybody else that would like to come up. You've already been up.
I have one more thought.
Okay.
Chris and Phyllis talked about how we chose Reverend Rose to be our minister.
I don't remember anybody being in the second place.
Nice. Kurt and all.
Well, I'm not a lifetime member, but I've been here since 2004. And been through a lot of drama. And one of the main things I appreciate about Reverend Rose is the lack of drama. This is a drama-free zone. It doesn't mean that we don't share our feelings and our emotions, but we clear them out and take care of them. Take care of stuff. And the other thing I appreciate, having been a musician, in some ways I'm a little detached. I'm an observer. So, you know, this church has been through some ups and downs, and I've been sitting on stage and watched what went on. And I appreciate the fact not only is she a good speaker and sharing of her heart, but she's a good administrator. You know, there's more to a church. You know, a church is an organization, and if you ignore that fact, the organization will fall apart. And I appreciate that she's brought on wonderful people like Kim and Therese, and has a wonderful board behind her. I appreciate you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Kurt. Robert. Robert Buck.
Hi. I was a big part of that tumultuous time. I was criticized, ridiculed, lied to, and you name it. And the only thing is, they forgot to bring the nails. And that was a time in the church where I was part of the leadership. And Drew was another one, and Karen Tintilla. Three of us were, let's say, not treated appropriately. After that event, and the minister left, I became part of the team to search for stability. Someone with integrity. And as you've been told, it took 18 months. We had a lot of people that we interviewed, we talked to, and wouldn't even bring back the second time. But she kept coming back. And after she was accepted, and she accepted, I continued working with her to help develop the church. Thank you.
Well, now that we're all crying, come on up.
My name is Ben, my wife Sheila. We are delighted to be here representing Unity of Melbourne and all of the chaplains that Rose trained, and we were part of her original group, and we have stayed with the program, and in fact really are coordinators of the chaplains in Melbourne. And we came here specifically to give our flowers to Rose.
I also wanted to say that when I came to Unity of Melbourne quite a long time ago, I guess it was the early 90s, I finally met Rose. And she brought to me such relief because she had this prayer thought, prayer consciousness, and I was going through a rough time. There was a lot of illness in the family, and it just relieved me so that she was there and had the kind of programs and courses that just gave me so much peace of mind. Thank you so much, Rose. You are...
Okay, Roz. I shouldn't even get up here.
Well, I'm not a lifetime member, but I was here in those early days when Rose came to us, and look what she's done. I think we should applaud her. And thank you. Thank you for being a friend and a great minister.
Thank you, Roz.
I won't sing. Praise
Huh?
God.
Now stop. I'll just sing the last part. Good morning, the little birds say. Huh? Way up in the sky, the little birds fly. Way down in the nest, the little birds rest. With a wing on the left and a wing on the right, the little birds sleep all through the night. Shh, they're sleeping. I didn't do it. The bright sun comes up, the dew falls away. Good morning, the little birds say. See, I didn't. I'm sorry, Rose just asked me to do it, sing her that song. I've known Rose for for a long, long time. You know, you're just such a light. You've always been such a light. You can just look at you and, you know, just radiate love. And thank you from the bottom of my heart.
I know, that's what I said, don't go away. So that song she would sing to me on the telephone. She'd call me up and sing it to me on the telephone. And then Jenny bought a convertible. And we went, I think, to see Christmas lights. And you go very slow. So we sat on the convertible. She taught me the princess wave. And then we went canoeing off your backyard. Yeah, thank you, Jenny.
That's another thing we did. I think we did 3 kayaking trips. Yes. Yes. Oh, here comes Micheline. Let's throw a trivia question up there real quick.
All right, how often does Reverend Rose get a massage? Once a week, twice a week, every other week, just after each car accident.
Hi, everybody. I just wanted to say how much I love Reverend Rose. And she's taught me so much, and she's taught me to think through my heart, not my head. I get stuck in my head like we all do a lot. But I always turn back to what Reverend Rose has taught me, to think through my heart. And when I do, I see things so much more clearly. And I took her Tuesday classes for a while, and those classes were so wonderful. And I know I don't take them anymore, but I did for a while, and they really helped me a lot to straighten things out in my head and my heart. But I don't know, I'm just a different person now ever since I've been in this church.
Okay, no need to stop. Anybody else? Barbara from Unity Titusville. Maybe she'll sing her something for us.
I think I told you what I wanted to be today, right?
No.
Well, you know, being a singer, it's funny because you're expected to stand up and sing, and I told her on the phone, I said, today I'd really rather be a butt in a pew. I'm just saying. Well, this is for you. And our love from Reverend Pat. I was picking her up this morning. She just couldn't do it today. So from Titusville and from Reverend Pat, much love. You know, I was here at Easter, and she called me up and she said, oh, let me back up a second. One thing that she did do, which was very interesting to me, was she put a tornado and a hurricane together, and we almost blew the lid off of a church. You don't put, that's Reverend Therese, I'm the tornado, she's the hurricane. And you really want to be careful about putting 2 redheads together in the same room. And great fun. But when you called me at Easter time, and you told me specifically, we'll weave the talk around the song, you raised me up. Reverend Rose, I have not stopped thinking about that. I sing through my heart. The songs that I do come straight through my heart space. But this encapsulated my soul, and it put an exclamation point on it. What a gift this woman is to this church and to this planet. I'm very sincere when I say you are a true gift from God, and you are very appreciated, obviously. Okay.
All right. Last call. Leslie Williams.
Rose and I go back, I think, probably to the late 90s, early 2000s in Unity of Melbourne. She took me through the chaplaincy program. I had to spend the night with Dixie in the same bedroom. We were in the silent part and Dixie wasn't. But we did. You took me through the CEP courses where Tom and Therese met, and I took some of your classes at Melbourne, and then I sort of fell away and came up here for a while until there was the situation, and came back, and you have given me the opportunity to facilitate Prosperity 1 and 2, PP 1 and 2, and the opportunity to speak up here and given me free reign. For which I think I'm grateful. And to sing. So I just thank you so much for the opportunity to be here and serve. Love you. And you gave me Suzanne too. And John.
Hi. I've known Reverend Rose for a long time. We go way back. And our spiritual paths were very parallel for a long time. I knew nothing about unity. I knew that was her thing, but I didn't know anything about it. I was doing my own thing, different paths, but we still had the same beliefs along the way. And when she started being a minister, she was working a lot and, writing a talk or whatever you do in church. And I didn't get it because we didn't do church. It just wasn't part of our lives. So I'm like, okay. I'm like, what about a vacation? Well, I'll come to Connecticut. Well, that's not a vacation, but she didn't have time to do anything else. I'm like, and then, what do you do with your friends? Well, I don't get it. Well, then 2 years ago, we moved here. I get it. It takes a lot of work. It takes her whole life it's taken her whole life, these 10 years, to get this church to where it is. There's one more thing I want to say is when we moved here, we didn't know anybody but you guys, this church. And so coming here, we kind of have a built-in church family. And it's an extension of her. Like, so your acceptance of us and making us feel loved and welcomed is an extension of her. So, like, she did that. Like, she didn't do that for me. She does that for everybody that comes through the doors. Yes. And we feel that too. So.
For those that don't know who this is my daughter. And John is my son-in-law. John, wave your hand. And Kayla, my granddaughter, is back there in the sound booth. Happy birthday! And it's Kayla's 14th birthday today. Come on up, Kayla. They want you in the picture. Yeah. I said to her, your birthday's getting smushed today.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Kayla. Who's taller than you? Happy birthday to you.
Oh, that was special. Speaking of special, we had a musician here that popped into our lives, Mr. B.A., and he came in with like a tornado, left like a tornado, left us wanting more. So he sent us a very special video, or sent you a very special video. So let's hit the lights and spin her around. Okay.
Hello, Unity of Merritt Island, and congratulations, Rose. 10 years. What a wonderful gift you've given to all of them and me. This is a song written by Michael Gott. And I just heard it about 2 weeks ago. And it so accurately reflects a very special relationship in my life. So I want to share it with all of you on this special day. Have you ever found yourself lost and set adrift, wandering through your life with no direction? Well, I have, I have. And in this time when you were lost, did you ever find the strength to reach out to somebody who could help you? Well, I have, thank God I have. I found a teacher and a friend who helped me on my way. She lifted me into the light, and gently she would say, do you see you are more than you believe yourself to be? Do you know there's a power in your hands? There is nothing in this world to keep you from your destiny. You are not blind, you are not bound, no, you are free. Do you see? Have you ever known the joy of returning to yourself, awakening to life after the darkness? Well, I have, I have. And when you were restored, have you ever turned around and helped someone who needed strength and guidance? Well, I have, yes, I have. I became the teacher and the friend to someone who could not see. I passed along the light and love my teacher gave to me. And I said, do you see you are more than you believe yourself to be? Do you know there's a power in your hands? There is nothing in this world to keep you from your destiny. You are not blind, you are not bound, no, you are free. Have you ever had the chance to share a word of thanks to this one who has given so much to you? Well, I have, right now, I have. Thank you, you have given me your love. You have shared with me your light. You have given me your clarity of sight. You are my teacher, partner, guide, and friend. A beautiful friend. This is who you are. This is what you mean to me. I love you.
Well, I did my job. I made her laugh. I made her cry. Reverend Rose.
Wow. For those who don't know, B.A. is a Broadway music director and conductor. He's on tour with Disney Aladdin, and I'll be spending a week with him in August. We haven't figured out exactly when yet. Whew. Wow, as I look around here, Trevor, when did you sneak in? Wow, thank you. Chris and Sal and Karen and Tammy. Whoa, I didn't see you come in. Wow. Just all of you. Just as I look at you, of course there's Ray. Hi. We had a discussion this morning and I said, I made it 10 years in spite of you, Ray. I know. He said, don't let me get up there. And I won't. Phyllis Burr. No matter what life throws you, you smile. Your faith is so powerful. I'm who I am because of what each of you bring. When we step into that hug, you allow your essence to be there. And we both move into that, Frederick, that God space, don't we? And I watch you transform. I watch you become who you came into this world to be, Michael. Yeah. I love each and every one of you for your own uniqueness, your own gift. And when I'm with you, I get to be who I came here to be. Thank you all so much for this gift, for this day, for this memory. I want to send all our energy and love to Janet Buck, who can't be with us here today. Robert, she's always in my heart. She's always in my prayers. She's a special lady. She's very special to me. And she does carry the light in this world. Hey, Gabe, how's it feel to be sitting back there taking on that job, huh? Yeah. Yeah. And Dan the man. And Andrew, I see you back there. Yeah. Yeah. All your stories are in my heart. All your tears, all your laughter, all your joy, all your love. Stephen, thanks for helping us buy our house. Okay, I know you guys all want to eat. Do you have an ending to this program? Okay, Judy. Okay.
See you in 10 years. at your next anniversary. Okay.
We'll see.